intro to, thanks, Chris. Okay, I'm Candace Hess, and I'm a after hours life coach and NLP practitioner. And the reason I started this was because I thought it would be really cool to normalize this conversation within the community. A lot of us are under quite a lot of stress and have anxiety issues. And it's new to us and we don't know how to speak about it because, I mean, does this make us strong? Does this make us weak people? Where are we in the grand scale of humanity? And I think that, it's very important to know that how to deal with it and to know what it is and to kind of spread that message. And it's not just in anxiety and stress management, it's in a whole lot of wellness areas. People don't know necessarily how to feed themselves that is correct for their body type or their body or their mind, etc. And what helps, for example, diet is very important. Those are the type of things that feed your soul as well as your body. And there's many other topics that we can talk about. It can go on forever and ever. But the main point is to just sort of educate people, to get them relaxed about the conversation and to actually get people to talk about it. Because a lot of times within friendships and that, a lot of things can come out and we're like, oh, okay, we've got this. So that's kind of why I started this, to heal and to teach and to learn. And then anyone who would like to contribute in terms of speaking is welcome, or in any other capacity that they can, that we could build our community and help each other. So that's kind of the why. What we do is every Wednesday at 7 p.m. we do a talk on a wellness topic, then followed by a practical. So we will do an exercise just to gain 10 minutes of calm and peace, or just ourselves. It's a nice 10 minutes in that it forces you to do something within that time because you've made time for it. And then we continue with Q&A and general conversation. Some house rules, if you could just please mute yourselves while the presenter is talking. And if we could, reactions, interactions, those type of things is welcome. There is a chat icon at the bottom if you want to ask questions, and then we'll get to that afterwards with the Q&A. And there's also a reactions button where you can send us some love, clap hands, celebrate, whatever it may be that you feel. Then what else is, and you can put your hand up. There's an icon there as well if you need to chat. Then, yeah, it's fairly relaxed. I want people to be comfortable and engaging and just relax. So we're going to be, yeah, she wanted to mention an initiative that she's got going. So I'm not sure if she is here or not, but I'm sure if she joins, she'll be talking to us a bit later about that. And then, yeah, our speaker today, his name is Chris Fourie, and he is a registered counsellor. He'll be chatting to us about anxiety and stress management. And yeah, so welcome, Chris, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Candace. All I'm going to ask is I won't be able to see the chat box, so if you can maybe just help with the chat box if there's any questions with that. So as everyone can see, I just started off with this powerful thing. You are stronger than your anxiety. You just have to learn how to fight it. Don't let it consume and paralyze you, because anxiety is a very powerful thing. Breathe through it and push forward. Learn what sets you off. Knowledge is power. So the more that you know about anxiety, especially your own anxieties and the fears that you face, it will be easier for you to overcome it later on. So as Candace has mentioned, I'm Chris Fourie. I'm a registered counsellor. I have been registered with the HPCSA since 2015, and I also finished my clinical hypnotherapy course in 2018. Currently, I'm working in different areas of psychology. I often make use of person-centered, so I focus around the client's needs and what makes a client feel safe. And then I also provide them with a space where they can just openly talk about what they are going through without any judgment. So primarily, I'm also employed full-time at a primary school where I actually help little ones just work through some of the problems that they face, especially like suicidal ideation, some depression and anxiety, and possible abuse at home. And lately, we've also been actually working a lot with trauma, where most of our kiddies has lost parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and things like that. So we just provide them with a space where they can work on themselves and process their emotions in a safe space. I'm also based at Meraki and Motion Wellness Center, where I see a variety of clients where they also face problems such as depression, anxiety, work management conflict, and interpersonal problems and relationship problems. So today, as you all know, our topic is anxiety. This presentation will try and help understand what is anxiety and how it can affect us. And then, as Candace has mentioned, we will do a practical exercise later on. So Candace actually asked that we incorporate children as well. So most of my slides are intertwined with adults and children. There's just one slide or two slides where I actually differentiate between adult anxiety and children anxiety. Okay, so what is anxiety? Anxiety is our body's natural response to stress. It's a feeling of fear or worry about what's to come. So you worry more about what's in the future. For example, your first day of school, going to a job interview, or giving a speech may cause most people to feel nervous and fearful. So it is our body's way of actually responding to our environment, things that is happening around us. If, let's say, you're walking down a street at night and you see someone behind you, your body is going to respond to that stress because something is happening around you and your body is going to try and protect you. Our body, anxiety causes our body to go into a state of flight, fight, or freeze mode, where it's trying to protect the body from a perceived danger. So recently, it's more of perceived, so it is your views regarding that situation. What might seem anxiety-provoking to you, it might not be anxiety-provoking to someone else. So it is your perceived danger. Some anxiety is good in small measures because it can assist you to perform under pressure and motivate you to do your best. So if you, for example, with this presentation, it caused me a little bit of anxiety because I tried to do it as quick as possible and trying to get everything into the presentation so that it comes out good. But beyond a certain point, anxiety stops being helpful and starts causing major damage to your health, your mood, your productivity, your relationship, and your quality of life. Because the moment you are under a lot of anxiety, it affects three areas of life. It affects your daily life, your social life, and your occupational life. The moment it affects all three of that, it tends to become a problem, and that is usually when more help, external help is needed. Okay, our nervous system is not very good at distinguishing between emotional and physical threats. So, for example, if someone is attacking me with a knife, it's going to respond the same way it's going to respond to when I'm in an abusive relationship. So it's going to perceive that as anxiety provoking. If you are super anxious over an argument with your partner, a work deadline, or a mountain of bills, your body can react just as strongly if you are facing a true life or death situation. Chronic anxiety disrupts nearly every system in our body, and if you tend to get anxious frequently, your body may be in a heightened state most of the time, which activates your body's nervous system and releases a large amount of cortisol, which gives you the feeling of an adrenaline rush. This can lead to serious health problems since the body will be in a continuous state of fear. It will struggle to switch to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is a state of rest and digest. So the common anxiety disorders in children. So there's the separation anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety disorders. It goes further into selective mutism, as well as other fears such as the fear of going to school. So I'm going to start off with separation anxiety. Statistics stated that it can start at 8 months and work your way up until about 3 years old, when it really becomes into a worse problem. Separation anxiety is characterized by a level of fear or anxiety regarding separation from the parent or primary caregiver. There is a pervasive worry that harm will come to a parent upon separation, which leads to extreme distress and sometimes nightmares. So generalized anxiety disorder, otherwise known as GAD. Children with GAD have significant distress in activities of daily life, often focused on the child's fear of incompetence in many areas, including school performance and in social settings. Children with GAD experiences at least one of the following symptoms: restlessness, being easy fatigued, so getting tired very quickly, mind going blank, especially if a teacher asks them a question, irritability, muscle tension, or sleep disturbances. Social anxiety disorder. Children with social anxiety disorder tend to experience intense discomfort and distress in social situations and are impaired by their fear of being scrutinized or humiliation. In some instances, the child tends to go mute to avoid certain fears or situation, especially in the presence of a peer. So common anxiety that adults can face is panic disorder, an intense attack of anxiety accompanied by a feeling of impending doom. This disorder is characterized by discrete periods of intense fear that can vary from several attacks during the day to only a few attacks during the year. Agoraphobia, usually a panic attack disorder, and agoraphobia tends to go together. So agoraphobia refers to the fear regarding places from which escape might be difficult and that might have a panic attack in a public space. Agoraphobia can be the most disabling of the anxiety disorders due to impacting a person's ability to function in an occupational setting, social setting, and unable to function on a daily basis. So this one is actually impacting all three of those three things that I mentioned earlier. Then we have specific phobia. Specific phobia refers to an excessive fear of a specific object, circumstance, or situation. A few common phobias are claustrophobia, the fear of closed space, arachnophobia, the fear of spiders, and acrophobia, the fear of heights, and then also blood injury injection phobia, which is the fear of needles, blood, seeing someone getting hurt. And usually this is the only disorder, or blood injury injection phobia is the only phobia that actually causes a person's blood pressure to drop, and that's why they faint. And then adults also have GAD, a person that tends to worry about everything, but also nothing in particular. It is characterized by excessive worry about several events or activities for most of the day. So you are worrying more days than not. So how the body, how anxiety affects the body. When you feel threatened, your nervous system responds by releasing a flood of hormones, which arouses your body into emergency action. So what happens is your pupils dilate, your mouth goes dry, your muscles tense, heart beats faster, breathing is faster and shallow, sweating, brain gets body ready for action, liver decreases glucose to provide energy for muscles, your blood pressure rises, anxiety hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol are released into your bloodstream, which brings you physical changes in your body. So that is when your body gets ready to fight or freeze. So in order to protect you from things that might harm you. So overload of anxiety, like I said earlier, it increases your fight or flight response. So your body releases cortisol, and adrenaline, which increases your blood pressure, and also HDL and LDL hormones. So that is your high density leptins and low density leptins, which is good, and lipids, which is good and bad cholesterol for your body. When you repeatedly experience a flight or fight response in daily life, it can raise your blood pressure, suppress your immune system, increase your risk of heart attack or a stroke, speed up your aging process, and leave you vulnerable to a host of mental and emotional problems. And especially in today's life, if your immune system is decreased, you're also more likely to get COVID because your immune system is lower, and then you are able to be infected much easier. So also effects of chronic anxiety, you will have more colds and flu, a risk of cancer, depression, eczema and skin disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, stomach ulcers, heart disease, and asthma. Signs and symptoms of anxiety overload. The most dangerous thing about anxiety is how easily it can creep onto you. It can start to feel familiar or even normal. Sometimes we don't even know how much it is affecting us. That is why it's important to be aware of common warning signs of anxiety overload. So there's cognitive symptoms. You will have memory problems, inability to concentrate, poor judgment, seeing only the negative, racing thoughts, constant worrying about everything but nothing in particular, difficulty in decision making, forgetfulness, disorganization, and trouble learning new information. Your physical symptoms might include aches and pains, changes in bowel movement, chest pain, rapid heartbeat and difficulty in breathing, nausea and dizziness, headaches, always tired, loss of sex drive, weight loss or weight gain, skin irritation or rashes, muscle twitches, and frequent illnesses such as colds. Your emotional symptoms might include moodiness, irrational fear about the future, irritability or short-tempered, agitation, not able to relax, feeling overwhelmed, sense of loneliness and isolation, depression or general unhappiness, drained or not enthusiastic about things, you feel demotivated and less satisfied in life. Then some behavioral symptoms, you will tend to procrastinate or neglect responsibility. And then in adults, you will see negative coping habits, such as drinking too much, using drugs, or smoking. And then in children, negative coping habits, such as avoiding friends or participation in class, locking themselves in their rooms, or becoming over-clingy to their parents or cry easily. So that is when they tend to always want to be around their parents and not want to leave their parents. So there's nervous habits such as biting nails, pacing, etc. Restlessness, lies or excuses to cover up poor work, neglect of your time and punctuality, eating more or eating less, sleeping too much or sleeping too little, and then withdrawing from others. Anxiety causes distress. If you are distressed, you can feel discouraged, sad, hopeless, guilty. You can feel panic, uncertainty, depressed, powerless, afraid, and so forth. Coping strategies. Coping strategies refer to specific behavioral and psychological efforts that people use to master, tolerate, reduce, or minimize stressful events. So you either become problem-focused with coping, which involves directly facing the stressful situation and working hard to resolve it. So if you feel that you are an anxious type of person, you will try and put yourself in a situation where it will induce anxiety, but you will try and work hard to resolve that anxiety. And then emotion-focused coping uses either mental or behavioral methods to deal with the feelings resulting from stress. So this is both positive and negative ways of coping. So you have active coping. I do what must be done, one step at a time, because overcoming anxiety is not something that will just happen. It will take some time to overcome them. You are planning, so you put a plan and you have a plan of action, which helps you plan your way. If you have to do a speech, you will either try and rehearse a lot in front of the mirror, you'll try and rehearse in front of your family, so that when you have to do a big speech, you'll be ready. So there's suppression of competing activities. I put aside other activities to concentrate on those. So sometimes an anxious person will try and overwhelm themselves because there's just too many things that they need to do. So you can just put everything aside and focus on the most important thing that you need to do right now. And then you have restrained coping. I force myself to wait for the right time to do something. So this is when I wait for the right moment to actually deliver my speech. I don't try and do it later in the day. I try and do it as soon as it's my time, so that I know that my plan of action is coming along. You seek social support for instrumental reasons. I talk to someone to find out more about the situation. So this is usually when people come to professionals and actually speak about their anxiety and try and find out more information. And that's when we do psychoeducation sessions. Seeking social support for emotional reasons. That is, I talk to someone about how I feel. So that can be anyone from a parent, a friend, a partner, someone at work, someone at school, or even a professional. So you also have positive reinterpretation and growth. I learned something from the experience. So if I feel that something is causing me anxiety, I know that that is anxiety provoking moment. So I will try and better learn my speech next time, so that when I get to that same scenario, then I will be more prepared. Acceptance, I learned to live with it. So many people that has anxiety, they tend to accept that they have anxiety and that it is something that they're going to have forever with them. Many people turn to religion. I put my trust in God. So next time I know when I have a presentation that I will put my trust in God, that I'll be ready for the next time. So focus on inventing of emotions. I let my feelings out. So also talking to a friend, a colleague, your partner, a family, or someone like that to help you. And then you get people that are in denial. I refuse to believe that it is happening to me. So some people think that they are stronger than it, and then they just deny that they are going through it, because how can a strong person be going through something such as depression, anxiety, stress, or anything that is psychological? So many people go into denial. And then also behavioral disengagement. I just give up trying to reach my goal. So that is where people quit at, let's say, if they want to pursue singing, for example, and then they will stop singing because that their anxiety is just too much, and that they won't be able to do it. Actually, a very interesting fact, so I'm going to deviate for a short while. There was a famous singer, I think her name is Sia. She also had social phobia, where she was never able to actually speak or sing in front of people. And then her therapist actually told her to wear the face covering things and also hide herself on stage so that she can sing. So that was just an interesting fact. Mental disengagement. I daydream about things other than this. So the moment that my anxiety is becoming too much, I start daydreaming about me being on the beach, because I don't want to face doing the speech. So people try and avoid thinking about the things that are weighing heavy on them. Factors that influence your anxiety tolerance. So having a good support network, supportive family and friends act as a buffer. So when you feel that you become anxious, you turn to your friends and family so that they can help calm you down. When you have people you can count on, life's pressures don't seem so overwhelming. So if you have people that constantly support you and motivate you and try and support you in a moment that you really need them, the life pressure or the anxiety won't seem so overwhelming. So then your sense of control, because many people that suffer from anxiety feel that they're out of control and that they can't control a specific situation. Same as the picture that Candice sent on the group earlier. If you believe that you have little control over your life, that you're at the mercy of your environment and circumstances with limited ability to make change, stress or anxiety is more likely to paralyze you. So if you feel you can't control your anxiety and that you can't overcome it, it will just paralyze you even more next time. So your diet is also very important. The food that you eat can have a profound effect on your mood and how well you cope with stresses. Eating a diet of full of processed and convenience food, refined carbohydrates, and sugary snacks can worsen your symptoms of anxiety. Especially people that suffer from anxiety, it's never a good idea to have too much coffee or too much sugar, because that will in turn make you feel more anxious at times. And then ability to deal with your emotions. If you don't know how to calm and soothe yourself when you're feeling sad, angry, or afraid, you're highly likely to become stressed and agitated, and that will trigger a panic attack, which will even make it worse for you. Having the ability to identify and deal appropriately with your emotions can increase your tolerance to anxiety and help you bounce back from difficulty. So your exercise level, the better you take care of your body, the greater resilience you'll have against the symptoms of anxiety. Exercise daily can lift your mood, help relieve stress, anxiety, anger, and frustration. It can also serve as a distraction to your worries. And then also improve your ability to handle anxiety is connect with others. The simple act of talking face-to-face with another human can trigger hormones that release anxiety when you feel uncomfortable, unsure, or unsafe. So especially if you talk to someone that also suffers from anxiety, just having that reassurance that how they overcome a certain situation or supporting each other can also be a very good thing to help you overcome your anxiety. Things to do that can help you relax. So you can read, watch a movie, paint or photography, and daydream. You can use water, music such as fountains or fish, and then motivational recording and guided meditation. And then this part is actually where Shemaine Ish comes into a great role, because she helps with aromatherapy oils and things like that, scented candles, and then also freshly brewed tea, nature, going out to the countryside or going to the sea, or just baking even. Then singing, laughing, chatting, deep breath exercises, affirmation, and then also exercise, as I said earlier, squeezing a stress ball, stroke a pet, play a musical instrument, have a massage, or do yoga and Pilates. So one way that me and my partner has overcome certain anxieties, we've got a little cat, and she's our therapy animal at home. So she helps us also just have that release at home. How to manage your anxiety. Find out what your stresses are. Find out the things that actually causes you your anxiety. Is it doing speeches, talking to people? Is it going to the shopping centers? Is it driving or talking to someone over a phone? Find out that reason that is causing your stress, and then make some lifestyle changes. Set a time to relax. And this is what I find wonderful about what Candice has done. She has created this platform where we can actually once a week set out a time where we can actually find helpful ways to relax. You can do something you enjoy every day. Like I always tell people, if you work hard every month, go out and take a day and reward yourself. Do things that you love, even if you want to do it alone or if you want to do it with a friend or a family member. Take that time and just treat yourself, because you have worked hard during the month. So if you want to go buy that ice cream or go buy a pair of shoes that you really want or really like, treat yourself. You don't always have to do it by spending money. You can do it by running yourself a bath, or do yoga, do meditation, do something that you enjoy, and manage your time better, so that if you know you have 50 things to do today, try and plan your day better, so that you know that you are working according to your schedule, and that will decrease your anxiety feelings. And then also replace unhealthy coping strategies with healthy ones. So people that smoke or drink, try and find something like the picture shows, laying in the sun and just relaxing. So this is just a small picture, how to manage anxiety. Many people actually forget to slow down. That saying about stop and smell the roses. Do that for every now and then. Keep calm, be positive, stop breaking yourself down. Take it easy. Not everyone manages to get it right the first time. Also unplug, because social media and things like that can even cause more anxiety, because you're trying to live to that perfect picture on the internet. Enjoy life, have fun, and remember to breathe. Relax, go outside, get some sun, and smile. And even if you want, meditate. Practicing the 4 A's: avoid, alert, adapt, and accept. Avoid. Learn how to say no. Avoid people who stress you out or cause anxiety. Take control of your environment. Create to-do lists. Alter, express your feelings, compromise, and create balance. Adapt, reframe, look at the bigger picture, adjust standards, and focus on positive. And accept the things that cannot change. And remember to fill your watering can every day. So that can be with a good friend, or something that you enjoy that can fill up your emotions, because sometimes, especially in the days that we are living with COVID and everything is taxing. So if we can refill our water can in order to help ourselves grow, that is very needed. And then a practical exercise. I'm not going to do this one with you guys. I'm going to do a guided imagery, but a very short one with you guys. So the short practical experience exercise that you can do is a 3-step breathing exercise. So you'll start off with your first breath. Breathe in until your chest is full. Keep it for 5 seconds. Breathe out until you cannot breathe out anymore. Then secondly, breathe in until your stomach is full. Keep for 5 seconds. Breathe out till you cannot breathe out anymore. And then the last one is the biggest breath that you can take. Breathe in until you cannot breathe in anymore. Feel that breath until you just feel full. Keep it for 5 seconds. Breathe out till you cannot breathe out anymore. Now, breathe in through your nose and out by your mouth. Feel the cold air coming in and the warm air going out. Feel relaxation and calmness coming in, and stress and anxiety leaving your body. And then if you want, you can repeat the steps and just carry on until you feel calm. Then lastly, the practical exercise. It is a guided imagery technique that can be used with both adults and children. I will take you through the exercise, so please sit back and relax. So what I want you guys to do is to try and get as comfortable where you're sitting. Just allow your body to become one with your seat or your couch or wherever you are sitting, and just allow your body to be calm. Now, I want you to take a breath in by your nose and out by your mouth. Another breath in your nose and breathe out. I want you to close your eyes and just be calm and relax on wherever you are sitting. Now, I want you to imagine a small orb of heat above your head. It's a small ball just drifting above your head. It's nice and warm, and it feels welcoming, it feels calming, and it feels relaxing. Now, I want you to imagine that orb getting closer to your head, filling in your skull, just bouncing around your head. It's making your head feel warm and relaxed. It's gathering all your thoughts, all your negative thoughts, all your anxieties, all your fears, all your stresses. It's just pulling it in. Now I want you to imagine it going down your neck into your shoulders, just pulling all that stress and tension out of the muscles, out of the neck. Now I want you to picture it going down your arms, into your forearms, into each of your fingers. It's just warming your body and making you feel more and more relaxed. Just pulling all the tension out of your hands from clenching, and your hands just feel numb and relaxed. Now I want you to imagine going down your chest, into your stomach, just pulling all that worries and all that fears into that warm light. Now I want you to imagine it going down your legs, into your feet, into your shoes, and just pulling all that tension in your body, pulling it all into that warmness. I want you guys to take a deep breath in and out, allowing that warm orb just filling your body with light, calmness, relaxation, taking away all your fears, all your worries, anything bad that is impacting you right now. Just allowing that orb to absorb everything that you are feeling. I want you to picture whatever you are feeling just leaving your body, allowing that sun or that warm light just absorbing everything. Now I want you to picture the orb, the light moving up into your calves, into your thighs, just pulling all the stress and worry and fear with it, going up into your stomach, into your chest, leaving a warmness in your body. It's pulling back from your fingers, into your forearms, back into your shoulders, traveling up your neck, into your face, allowing it to be in your head for a while, just allowing it to absorb everything in your body, in your head, all the negative thoughts, just allowing it to leave a warm, calming light and feeling. Now allow that orb to hover out your head, and just hovering above your head, it has taken all that fear and all that anxiety and anything that has caused you stress to leave your body. Take another deep breath in and out. And whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you, everyone. That is the presentation for today. And thank you for listening. I do appreciate it very much. Thanks.
You guys have questions?
Well, if I can jump in, maybe not a question, but a comment. That was really, really, really well done. Thanks, Chris. It was a great session doing that. It's interesting, even being, you know what I mean, having studied that, understanding all of the sort of data that you're putting onto the screen, but even as you're seeing it, looking into myself, I can identify right now so many of those sort of aspects that, you know, I suppose we conscientize and go, oh, well, that's just, you know, that's just today. That's just, you know what I mean? But if you really think about it, you can see this sort of recurring, at least I'm speaking for myself now, I can see this sort of recurring theme happening. And it was, you know, it's kind of like what I'm summing up to just be like, that's kind of my experience right now. It's nice to understand that actually, you know what, that's anxiety. That's actually, you know, Michael, you're feeling anxious right now. It's you're not just feeling sick. You're not just feeling down. It's maybe that's the underlying cause. Like I say, even though I know this, consciously I know this, I've studied all this sort of stuff. Sometimes you need to hear it. You know what I mean? And you experience it in a format like this to go, you know, exactly. I'm anxious. You know, so thank you for that, Chris. I think it was really, really fantastic.
Thank you very much. And I think also the problem is because we have studied it, we don't tend to see it in ourselves because it's not easy to look inwards and identify the things that we are going through. It's easier to make it out. I'm supposed to be the strong one. I'm supposed to be the one helping everyone else and being a supportive system to everyone else. And not looking inwards and saying, I'm also experiencing some form of anxiety, stress, depression, or any type of mental illness. We tend to neglect ourselves. So I hear you. Thank you for that, Michael.
I think I can echo what Michael was saying. It was a really good session, and when you were going through all the physical issues, I thought, oh my word, it kind of makes you feel even more anxious. I mean, you realize just how much you're taking on, and you always hear stress has such a big impact on your physical, mental, emotional well-being, but when you start checking off that list and you think, oh my word.
And that's a scary part. It's even now that you mentioned stress, stress plays such a big role in anxiety because stress is supposed to be an everyday thing, and it's not supposed to be an everyday thing. It's not something that we are actually supposed to experience because who created stress? We are creating our own stress, and just it has consumed us in such a way that it's causing havoc in our life and causing all this physical, mental problems that we are experiencing. Yes.
Nice meditation too.
Thanks. So Candice, up to you.
Cool. I'm glad you guys all enjoyed that. That was very nice. Thank you, Chris. So yeah, I think it was Yolanda. Was it you that had something to add with the initiative? There was an initiative that you were running. I'm not sure if it was you or... Okay. Would you like to talk about it?
Thank you very much.
Candice. Yes, sorry, Yolanda, that it would be better to come from you. I did ask Candice if she could just give you a spot on the handbag initiative.
Thank you. That's very kind. Yes. So Chris and I were actually, we did a webinar last week with regards to rape survivors, and there's actually a webinar that we published this week on our website as well. Where basically Sarah spoke about being gang raped and literally left for dead. And we had a sexologist speaking about it as well, how to support your partner going through it, how to help yourself after you've been sexually abused. And there's huge anxiety and stress and trauma that goes with that for years afterwards. I don't think you ever get over a situation like that. And we had the Jess Ford Foundation, Trish Gillespie actually join us on the session as well. And they have what they call the handbag initiative. And the handbag initiative is basically there for women who, and unfortunately, 60% of their handbags go towards children under the age of 12. Very scary. And, Chris was talking about consent and how important it is to teach your children about consent and touch and so on. So we are supporting the handbag initiative, both Meraki in Motion as well as Love It. And we are trying to find as many handbags as possible and people who can fill those handbags as well. So what goes into the handbag are things like soap, Dove soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, face cloth, sanitary pads, that type of thing, just so that the person can get some form of even just feeling clean after a situation like that. And it's a huge comfort to a lot of people. And then you write a comfort note to them as well. It's something that comes from the heart, and you leave a note in the bag for them. in the kiddies pack, they also add a colouring in book and pencils, crayons, etc. So it's a really important, excuse my cat, it's a really important initiative for us. And I am, sorry, I'm laughing. Very, very serious situation, but it's a seriously important initiative that we're trying to drive. And as many bags as possible. We wanted to raise for Nelson Mandela Day, but because of all the riots and looting and so on, I think it just faded into insignificance. And so we're continuing with that through Women's Day and Women's Month. You know, we'd like to raise as many or get as many bags as possible. So the drop-off points, you can drop off at Meraki in Motion, 28 Ray Frankel Street. There is also on the Love It page, there is a list of places where you can drop it off. Also on the Meraki page under the webinar itself, there's drop-off points, and you can just give me a call as well, and we can make sure that we get the bags somehow. So my number's 074 7777 555. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk about it, Candice. Thanks, Roxanne.
Look at her nose. That's awesome, Yolanda. Thank you. Thank you. Look at her nose. I'm sorry, my children are just, you know, talking. Look at her nose. Look at her nose. Look at her nose. Okay, go leave the poor baby. Hi.
Hi.
Off you go. Okay, guys. Is there anything that anybody else wanted to add? Initiatives or anything that's going on that you feel could be contributing to the community, or the community could be contributing back? Anything that you'd like to talk about or add to these sessions?
So if I could just sort of 2 points real quick. One, Roxanne, I think you sent through a list for Yolanda what needed to be in that bag. Could you possibly share that on the WhatsApp, maybe on this WhatsApp group again? I'd like to take this forward to our property broking company, and I'd like to engage the rest of the brokers in this to see if they can also contribute and jump in, because I think, you know, we need, you know, it is a very important initiative. So please, if you can share that across again, I'd like to share that across to the other groups. And then, Candice, with your permission, I was also sitting on the Ward 38 Ward Committee for City of Ekurhuleni. So we're engaged in the project with Rand Water, and Rand Water are looking for providers to do, I want to say, life skill type courses as such. So I've got a little expression of interest. With your permission, if I could share it on this group as well. I think there might be something in it for each one of you. So it is a funded thing. So there's funding for it. So if there is something in there, Chris, I'm looking at you, Candice, I'm looking at you, Shamay, I'm looking at you, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily know everyone else on here, but with your permission, if you wouldn't mind me sharing it on there for you as well. It's also a great opportunity. We have managed to negotiate that it's going to be local for here, for sort of Ward 38. So it's sort of for everyone that's on sort of in this space right now, which is great. So it gives us an opportunity before they take it onto a wider perspective if they don't find necessarily what they're looking for just yet. So yeah. So if you don't mind, with your permission, I'd like to just share that then onto the WhatsApp group, and everyone can, hopefully somebody can, you know what I mean, find something, you know, if you've got some value to add, go for it.
That's awesome. No problem. Cool. Does anyone else have anything to add, or are you all good? I'm going to put the recording on the WhatsApp group. There were a couple of lights out situations, electricity issues. So a couple of people have asked for that. So I don't think it's too much of an issue at this point to do so. Yeah, but if there's anything that you want to talk about or add into these sessions, please let me know. You're welcome to private message me as well. And we can always organize through the group. And like Chris and I did, organize this, etc. And that is that. So long. Cool. Pleasure,
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you so much, Candace. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, everyone. It was great seeing you, Linda. Great seeing you again. It's been a while. Hi to me. Guys, have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. And I'll share that on the group as well. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
Cool, guys.
Thank you,
Alright.
everyone.
Thanks very much.